going to start the process and go ahead and do a European mount on this guy. He just came out of the freezer. He's been there since August. It's January. Was thinking about getting it mounted, but it's not quite big enough, so a European should do just fine. Let him thaw out, the skin off tomorrow, and do the boil and get it ready. Alright. Alright, here he is, thawed out. Now I'm going to cut him right down the skull here, split him open. I'll cut it around down here so we don't rip the velvet. Again, he was caped for a mount, but decided not to do a mount on him, so got some work to do here. He was rubbing, thrashed off a lot of his horn. So, alrighty, gets to work. I'll show you what he's done in a little bit. Finished skinning off the face. You can see. Here we've got here. Now, cut off most of this meat, separate the bottom jaw from the top, and then get as much off as I can. We're going to boil it, and I'll show you from there. Now, I've got it down as good as I get it right now. And I had saran wrapped and taped around the bottom of the antlers. Kind of help protect the velvet. Filling up with hot water now, right up to about here, and then boil, and we'll go from there. And put it on high heat. And when we started boiling, that stuff will start falling off. And then it's easier to get it off. Alright, now that it's done boiling, pulled it out. Now I've got to take a pair of pliers or some needle nose as well. And then you're just going to simply start, it pulls off. Need two hands though, but you get the idea. Show you what it looks like. Alright, before I do the head, I'm going to cure the antlers to help keep that velvet on there. Just using acetone and a small paintbrush to fit inside. Just simple as getting a heavy coat, hitting all the tips, letting it just go down. You watch it soak into it. And don't be afraid to put a heavy amount on there. You got to make sure you coat inside, outside, and this is a way to do it without having to inject it. Just put it on heavy and it will absorb in. The flesh will absorb it and it'll suck the moisture out and dry it out there. And you could even probably hit it with a blow dryer possibly if it's going to take a while to dry. And then hit it with a like a toothbrush and kind of fluff the velvet back up after it's all cured. So I'll put this on real good and then we'll come back in a few hours and see if it's dry. Alright. Alright, now that the boil is finished and we've cleaned everything out, the skull, all the tendons and the brain, I went and had head and added 2 bottles of hydrogen peroxide. I know you're not supposed to use bleach, but I use just a smidget, kind of foams it up, and it just helps get it white. You use too much, it degrades the bone. You gotta be careful of that. So I go ahead and I put it in, let it start soaking, then I put paper towels over the crown where the antlers are so they're not touching, just in the bottoms, as you can see. I went ahead and did the lower jaw because I'm going to attach the whole jaw with some super glue and whatnot. So I'll shine up the teeth some more, but it turned out pretty white as you can see. I'll glue them together and we'll see what it looks like when it's done. Alright. Let it soak actually for about 13 hours. I let it go overnight. I've never done that. Usually I only go an hour or two. But I want to see what it did to it basically. Should be nice and white now. Obviously as it dries it's going to get whiter, but it looks pretty good and white. Oops. As you can see, it's pretty white. Alright, I'll show you more momentarily. Alright, here's the water drained out. They're still wet, so they will actually get whiter as they dry. This yellow tinge will go away. So there's the bottom jaw. That will get super glued back in there, so you have a complete jaw. As you see, it's turned out pretty white. All the way up with the rags, all the way up to the edge of the antlers. Very nice. And that's what she looks like. Make the table mount. I took the lower jaw, super glued them back together, flip it upside down so it looks like that. Take your mount that you just made, and then it just simply fits perfectly